It's a story that we were actually talking about this morning in our meeting, and I wasn't all that familiar with it. And then I heard you sort of kind of give some of the details. And this is one of those stories that's just so uplifting at the end of the day. And it's just one of those stories you need to hear.
Ultimately, very, very inspirational. Yeah. So, yes, there's a sad side to it, but I think you're just going to love this story. So, I mean, if you were given the diagnosis of an incurable disease and you knew that the time you had left was limited, how would you spend it? Because that's exactly what happened to France Girard. And she says she has just had the best year of her life. She's 44 years old. She's been diagnosed with leukemia, and she's made it her mission to just live her life to the absolute fullest and make all of her dreams come true. France Girard is the founder of a Pilates yoga studio called Studio Rebelle, and she joins us now. Hi, France.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks.
This story is truly inspirational. Despite everything that you're dealing with and everything that you've been told, you've decided to make all of your dreams come true. So, yeah, I know that you're a Pilates and yoga studio owner, founder, and you have two 21-year-old twin girls. What was it like? Take us back to the diagnosis, and was your immediate reaction like, I got to make the most of this, or how did you respond?
Actually, I've tried because 4 years ago I went through the first diagnostic of leukemia, and then I put a purpose, a goal to myself to say, in 1 year I'm going through that and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. And 2 years after, it was coming back, and it's last October 22, and when it came back, the answer was we don't have any more options for you. But then they have a new medication that they offer me to try, and I have tried to have this view, but I was used to the first 4 years ago, I was using my body to put myself in, to start back my body and to take the most of every treatment. And honestly, I always took the best of every treatment because I've worked parallel to make it work with my head, with my body. But then last year, I've dropped so low in my cells that I had pretty much no oxygen, and just to think, it was making me as I was doing a cardio activity, and it took 5 months that I was at the hospital 4 days a week. Over that, a few hospitalization,
Wow.
Always not knowing if I was going to go out of the hospital every time. And I really lived my own, how do we say, un deuil.
You can say it in French if you want.
Yeah, un deuil, vive mon deuil.
Oh, your grief. You lived your own grief.
Yeah.
You were grieving the diagnosis.
Yeah, and last fall was really bad because everything I was used to, knew of myself, of, when I feel like that, I do that, or when I think about this sentence, or when I do that, it helps me. But then, nothing, I have nothing else, nothing to hold of what I knew of myself, of my body. And it was so hard because I was also, seeing my career, everything,
it's a lot, right? It's a lot
falling apart.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in and a lot to process at the same time. And yet I understand that you kind of made a bucket list of sorts, and you've been going out of your way to try and check everything off this list possible.
Yeah, at first, that's my first reflex. I've done the bucket list, but then I was it was so heavy to put things in a bucket list because when you don't have an expiration date, it's fun to do.
Oh, yeah.
But when you have one, everything is so charged of heaviness because you're like, oh, is it the last word I'm going to write there? Is it and do I will have the time to do that? But then I've worked on myself, and in around last January, I was really okay, now I'm living like a grandpa, looking at my life by the window because I always stuck between a hospital and everything. And I was like, well, a grandpa, the opportunity, there's opportunity through every boundary. And I think in life, it's the secret in business and in life to change the boundary and opportunity. And I was like, well, grandpa, actually it's more like a retired person. Means like, a retired person, they enjoy, they are a little selfish, a little bit traveling. And I was like, let's, I was not ready to be like at this stage at 44 years old.
Sure.
But I was like, here we go. You're there. Like, let's enjoy it where you are. And I've looked at my year and I have honestly lived one of the best year of my life.
Tell us a little bit of some of the things that you've done in this year to live the best year of your life.
My first thing was to have the most quality time with my daughters and my boyfriend, because that's like the point that I cannot resolve to find how I could be there for them in the future. And I think like to make the best memories, but also to have not just to do things, but to have moments together where you share and you grow up through it. And it's really what I've done on the top of my list. And pretty much everything I've done this year was my daughters don't live at home anymore since 3 years. Mm-hmm. And it don't bring us to see each other always. Through this year, we had so many times to be together, and I traveled a lot before to be sick, but I was more traveling by myself and not always going with my boyfriend, but this year we make it possible. Also with to do crazy parties with my friends and family,
good.
And I organize and I've done like parties like I never done in my life, and people said that it was like the best. I've made a burning private party.
That's
burning
amazing.
Private.
That's crazy. And so is it like a mix of joy and sadness at the same time for you on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, it's well said. I see often people, with a verdict like that, people are going to write me, oh, you're strong, you're courageous. But to be honest, I'm full of strength and I'm full of courage. I'm not missing that at all. And I promise it's not going to fall apart. But yeah, I feel sad. I feel sad about what's happening. I feel sad about what I don't have. I feel sad to don't have time to take the time. But I am not sadness. I feel sad, but I don't always feel sad. Mm-hmm. I laugh. I'm happy too. I'm all of that too. And I think when that kind of dramatic situation arrives, people expect that I am sadness, but that's not the case at all. I live my sadness when it comes. But honestly, we are a lot in our society, to to connect with your emotion and how do you feel. But I would say from my point of view, and it's good for everyone, don't go too deep there. Mm-hmm. Because, it's often a big black hole to jump there and you seek into how you feel. And, when you think about it, often it's because you don't feel good. You don't do this exercise when you feel good.
Well, and I imagine it would be easy to get to get stuck there. I think it's beautiful, France, that you have made the decision. I mean, it's clearly your character and who you are as a woman, but that you've chosen to make the most of the time that you have left. I think it's a beautiful thing, and I think it's a story that people needed to hear. We're rooting for you, and we really appreciate you taking the time today to tell us a little bit about how this has been one of the best years of your life.
No, thank you. I'm so pleased if it can inspire others to don't wait tomorrow, because tomorrow can always be worse. And we will think about yesterday and we would say, damn, I thought life was not perfect to do it. But actually it was. And always, the only certitude that we have is that we will die one day.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's a beautiful
that's the only
message.
thing we are sure in our life.
Yeah, you're right. As they say, tomorrow is promised to no one, and make the most of today. France, we are wishing you, we're just sending you all of our very best wishes. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. That is France Girard. She is living with leukemia. She's the founder of the Studio Rebelle. It's a Pilates yoga studio, and her time is limited, and she's making the most of it.
Pretty inspiring. I mean, on the one hand, it's hard to hear because you know what the diagnosis is, and on the other hand, you hear how much optimism there, how much hope there is in her voice too, and the idea of don't go down that rabbit hole. What you say, don't dig too deep.
Yeah, because that's a bad place to get stuck, and
to get
it's
out of.
What I love is that you still have choices, even in a circumstance where you feel powerless. You can choose how to spend the time you've got left.
Sad, but I'm trying to find the right word to describe that, but. I don't know, optimistic in a sense, I guess, as well, if you find yourself in a situation or know someone is in a situation like that. Yeah, tough to hear.